Hello and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I would like to welcome you to Craft Spot. Normally, I would do this on Wednesday afternoon, and I tried, but I ran into some technical difficulties with the new setup, and it didn't go too well. So I'm doing this again, and hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm crafting this time. So I didn't put this out that I was going to do it at this time, so I'm not sure whether anybody's getting notification that I am live and is able to tune in. But if you are here, do say hello. Let me know that you found me, and love to have you along for the ride. And if you're watching this on the replay, well, that's awesome too. If you just want to give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, I would appreciate any of those sorts of things. And I hope you like what I am sharing today, and I hope that you can see what I'm sharing today. As you can tell from my background, I'm not in my craft studio in Wasaga Beach. I am at my cottage, which is where I try to spend at least some of the time over the summer. So I'm here now, and I have a quasi craft studio here. I have set up that I sort of move in and take over, so it's all good, right? Anyway, I do want to share some inspiration, some ideas, different ways of using the Cheerful Daisies stamp set. And this is the set that I used for my online class last Wednesday. So let me just drop this down, and we will be in the crafting area. And I will show you that this is the Cheerful Daisies stamp set. It's a marvelous stamp set. Lots of daisies, two-step stamping. We're not going to do two-step stamping per se today. We are going to use these stamps, but we're not going to use this image to outline this image. So we're not doing it as two-step stamping. We're just using the stamps individually, and I will share them as we go along. As I mentioned last week on Craft Spot, I did share an online class, and if you would like to have the kit for this class, it's easy to do. All you have to do is place a minimum $35 order in my online store using my current host code, and that is all available to you off of my website, but I will also put it in the comments at the conclusion of this so that it's really easy for you to find. You place that minimum $35 order, and I will send you a kit to make 6 cards, 2 of each of these 3 designs. And if your order is $60 or more, I will also send you a full package of the adhesive backed solid gems, which are these gems. Oh, a little bit of glare. So let me see if I can hit that without the glare. These gems, actually, I can show you my open pack. Some are missing, but you'll get the idea. So there they are there. Lemon Lolly, Boho Blue, and Copper Clay. So 3 different colors, and those are colors that are in these cards, and you'll see that I've used the Copper Clay, the Lemon Lolly, and the Boho Blue on these cards. But if your order is less than $60 and you don't have those gems, you can use any gems you want to embellish your cards. But I will send you those for free with a $60 higher order. So you have until next Tuesday, which is May the 22nd, to place that order using my current host code, and I will send you the kit so you can make 6 of these lovely cards. Okay, so just a little food for thought for you. And the video for this is posted, and I will send you the link again just so you can easily find it when I send your kit. And then you'll have the the how-tos, and there's also a printed tutorial. So if you prefer to read and learn or see and learn, it's all there for you. Okay, so today we are going to do the 4-in-1 technique. And so if you haven't done it, it's basically where we will stamp down the center and across the center of a full sheet of cardstock, and then we will cut it into 4. And we will make 4 cards from 1 sheet of cardstock and 1 stamping adventure. So I am going to do lots and lots of blue today. If you are a fan of blue, you probably are loving our current color palette between boho blue, which is one of our new in colors, and the color refresh that kept Night of Navy, added returned Misty Moonlight. That was a previous in color. Sorry, missing a couple here. Brought back Blueberry Bushel, which was a previous in color. And oops, I'm going to do 2 of those. And brought out another brand new color, As Your Afternoon. I'm missing 1, and I'm missing the stamp. Oh, here we go. It's all good. Nobody panic. Tahitian Tide, and I think I have these switched up. So that's Misty Moonlight. Tahitian Tide, current in color from last year and still available this year. So lots and lots of blues that we are going to play with today. So let me just scooch these off to the side so that we can get started. Okay, and I'm just going to do in a piece of scrap paper just set under there because I will likely stamp over the edges, and I need to go up a little bit higher. Brand new setup at the cottage here, and I've noticed I have a little bit of sunshine coming in the window. I have tried to put a little bit of a block up so it doesn't get in our way, but it's creeping and trying. So I may need to figure out something a little bit different. But just sorry. I need to get myself up a little bit higher here. At home, I sit on a stool when I craft. The stool's up here a little bit high for the table, but the chair is a little bit low. So I'm still trying to sort that out. Anyway, I am just going to randomly stamp. Oh, blue. Yes, okay. That's what I'm going to use here. And I'm going to randomly stamp kind of down the center. Now this is a large stamp, so it widens the center of the cardstock, but that's fine. There will still be enough space left for everything else we are going to do, as you will see as we go along. And it's okay to go off the edge. I suppose in some ways it's encouraged so that you have lots of coverage. You can step it any way you wish. There we go. Now, I'm going to stop here. You can see it's kind of down and across. And so I think I'm going to stop for now. We can always go back and add some more of that later. Stop there for now. I'm going to bring in the As Your Afternoon ink. Okay. And this time I mentioned that this is a 2-step stamp set, but we're not doing 2-step stamping. Well, that's a lot of stuff going on, isn't it? So I'm going to use this outline stamp. I'm not sure if you can see that. You'll see in a moment as I start to do this. Tricia, hello. So you're asking about my crafting tonight, which will be very late for you in the UK. But I usually do my craft spot on Wednesday afternoons. But I ran into some technical difficulties, so I decided I would do it again today. So here we are, and I'm so happy that you found me. Okay. So this stamp would perfectly outline the first stamp that we did, but I'm not using that way. I'm using it just as another flower stamp. So, and again, I'm just kind of following along, down the center and across the center. These large flowers, and they are overlapping. That's fine. You can do it however you like. It's crafting. There's very few rules, and there's no mistakes. There's only opportunities. That's where how you determine where your gems go and things if you mess up a little bit or something. So, okay, now I'm going to bring in Misty Moonlight. Maybe, there we go. And I have the smaller daisy, and this is the solid image. So I'm just going to stamp him various places. Doesn't seem to be inking up very well. I always have to remember not to rush. My stamping comes out. Oh, I'm not sure if you recall this when I first stamped it looked very, very dark. As it dries, it does lighten somewhat. And so this Misty Moonlight almost looks like Night of Navy right now, but it will lighten a little bit as well as it dries. This technique, you can do it with virtually any stamp set, or you can mix and match stamp sets. There's, I've seen it done with a couple of different stamp sets to get a bunch of different flowers or different greenery, different images. It's whatever you like, whatever you choose. You can use any stamps, any colors. I will show you. I'll show you the one I made yesterday, which uses these same colors. But I had made one last week as well with a little bit different colors. So I will share that with you as well. And I have a little bit of ink that I got onto the cardstock there. I'm not sure whether you can see it or not on camera. But that's where the sentiment goes. And if that's not exactly where the sentiment ends up, then that's where the gem goes. So it won't be a problem. We'll just hide it behind something. So as I mentioned, I am up at the cottage. It's not very cottage warm weather in Canada. This is where you're coming up to our Victoria Day weekend, where we celebrate Queen Victoria's birthday. And it's sort of the unofficial kickoff to summer, but it's not feeling very summery at the moment. And I'm not sure that it will be by the weekend, but we can't really control that. We'll take what we get. So, but it is Monday is a holiday, so we'll take the holiday. So if you love to craft and you like to be inspired and see different demonstrations of different techniques and different stamp sets, our next online global retreat is coming in July, and we have just opened registration for that. It will run July 21st and 22nd. It's a Friday and a Saturday, and there will be demonstrations at various times, some that will be convenient for you and some that will not. And when I say you, it doesn't matter where you are located, because some are convenient for some places and not others. So there are 4 demonstrators, and we cover 4 continents. So we are in the UK, Canada, Australia, and the United States. So that's why I say some demonstrations will run live at a convenient time, but convenient time in North America is not always a convenient time in Australia, or convenient, in the US is not convenient in the UK. So everything is recorded though, and you will be invited to join a private Facebook group, and you will have access to all of the videos of everything that we share and demonstrate. And then we do a Zoom wrap up at the end that we did on the Saturday afternoon. It seemed to be a good time slot for everybody to be able to join in. So we will do that again, and hopefully people will be able to join. But you will have a goodie bag sent to your home, and you can craft along with us or craft after you watch the videos and share and chat and all sorts of fun things. So it's a great crafting community, and we have a lot of fun. I invite you to check it out and join us, and you will find information about that in my emails and the other demonstrators' emails. And it doesn't matter where you are located. You may sign up through any demonstrator and we will forward it to the correct country, because we're not allowed to ship product outside of our own country. But we'll take care of those details for you. You don't need to worry about that. So this is blueberry bushel that I am stamping the centers of my flowers with. Just, getting more blue in there, because when you love blue, you can't have too much blue, I don't think. Oops. I'm working at a bad angle here, and I kind of missed the center of that guy, but I think it'll all sort of blend in. Okay, so there's all of the large centers, and I'll just do the small centers. This is a great stamp set. It's got everything you need to make beautiful flowers with your stamps, ink, and paper, but there's also dies, and the dies cut the outside flower, the full flower piece, and they also cut a layer that gives you additional details. So the dies are actually stunningly beautiful. Actually, they look like this. This was from the card class. So you can see there's a white background and then a colored detail piece for each of those flowers. And I will die cut those for you if you place an order and have me send you the kit. So you're more than welcome to order the bundle. It's an awesome bundle, but I will send you all of those pieces ready to go. So I was done. There we go. Okay, so here we have our piece, our beautiful piece of blue flowers all over the place. And I am just going to bring in my paper cutter. I'm still kind of setting up at the cottage here, and I have not found my trimmer. It's here somewhere, but I don't know where. But I did find my cutter, so we're going to use this for now, and I am going to cut this at 4 1/4. So actually, somebody said they wanted to get a good look at this. So there's down the center and across the center. And if anybody wants to grab a screenshot of that or anything, there you go. Now's your chance. Okay. And now I am going to cut this at 4 1/4. And then I'll just stack these together and cut them at 5 1/2, which is full card base size. So when I actually make these into cards, I will trim them down a little bit further, and you can decide once you have cut them, if you want a little less white, you would trim here. And if you want to keep that much blank space, you could trim here and have a little bit smaller flower. Entirely up to you. So here we go. And these now could be turned into 4 beautiful cards. Similar to the 4 that I made yesterday. So I decided that I would mount them on 4 different card bases yesterday, so that you could just see, some different colors, different styles. So I have 4 to show you. I'm just trying to straighten this sentiment a little bit. And yes, I've messed that up. I will have to fix that later. So this is As Your Afternoon. Maybe I should get these out of here so we don't have too much going on. But there is one with As Your Afternoon. This is Night of Navy, Boho Blue, and Misty Moonlight. So I kept them very straightforward, very simple. I just added a sentiment. The sentiment, if you're wondering uh, where that came from, that is from the go-to greetings, thinking of you. This is a must-have stamp set, folks. If you don't have this, you need to add this to your next order. Uh, Perhaps your order that you'll place to get the card class for free. This is an awesome stamp set. Covers all of the basics. Happy birthday, thinking of you, just a note, and thank you. Different sizes, different fonts. There's also a hello in here, so a little extra bonus. But what an awesome stamp set. It covers everything. So that's why it's, I always tell people, this is a must have. If you don't have this, you must get it. You won't regret it. And I don't say that too often because a lot of times it's personal choice. But anyway, those are the 4 cards, and that's where that sentiment was from. And I just keep it quite simple. I've got some iridescent pearls too, because you have to have bling, right? And then the ones that I had made prior to that, I didn't do all in blue. I did add some purples to my blue. So we have some mix and match colors. There we go. So this is Highland Heather, and then we had Gorgeous Grape. We have Moody Mauve and Blackberry Bliss, along with the Boho Blue and Misty Moonlight. So that's what we had on these cards, and these I just did with the, happy birthday and birthday wishes sentiment. And I put some of the flat adhesive back pearls. Sorry, they're difficult to see as well. Hopefully you can see those. These are the opal iridescent ones that came out with the Seaside Bay suite, and they are super lovely. So there you go. There are cards and papers. I won't make these into cards right now, but where should I put this? Move everything up a tiny bit, maybe. Okay. It's getting to be a very full screen, isn't it? We'll just set these out here. There. Hopefully you can see most of that. Alrighty. And let me just come back here. This is where I realized I had a problem yesterday, but it looks good today. I think I shared with you my stamping while I was stamping, which didn't work out too well yesterday. So, because I said, I'll get things, I'll get the setup worked out and I'll get it going. But anyway, I hope you like the cards. I hope you like the technique. It's a fun technique. And of course, it's always a little different because you just stamp randomly. And then until you cut your pieces, you almost don't know exactly what you're getting. That's kind of the fun, the surprise at the end. And as I said, you can always go back and add in more stamping if you have some gaps or something. So anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm dry. Excuse me, all of a sudden my throat got very, very dry there. So I guess it's time to stop gabbing. Thank you again. Hope you like it. Leave me a comment, and I hope to craft with you all again really soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.